What's up, everybody? How are y'all doing today? I am the Rad Picker, the full-time, part-time reseller, carpenter, immoral, banned, fell off reseller, the world's most okayest reseller. Check out the cinematic, though. You might want to stick around because we're going live. Cut. Play the intro. I don't have any intros. You know this. The Rad Picker doesn't intro. This is the intro, the outro, and in between. I am a little fired up. Pause. Awesome like my daughter. Not to leave any of them out. It does go well with the chicken. Anyway, this week in reselling, just to keep your attention, notice the hunting beard is growing out. Look at all the gray specks. I may have the world's worst beard too. Look how just looks like a dog with mange. But anyways, it's hunting season and that's what I do. I have a pulled muscle in my neck. Last night, I finally got my old tree stand climbing, Summit Viper. Please, Summit, send me money along with List Easier and anyone else who wants to. But anyways, I got my Viper, my Summit Viper stand from a friend of mine that I did a job for. Excuse me. We're not editing that out. Gross. He let me hunt on his land. I left this tree stand. He's had it for years, and I'm been hunting in a spot I've been hunting for 20 years, and I found a kind of a new pinch point, and I want to hang my stand. I got it up at it. So anyways, I say all that to say this. I went hunting yesterday and in the rain, and I got what me and my brother-in-law and nephews, my hunting buddies, call tree standitis. It's trying to look behind you while sitting still both ways, so you get a little strain in your neck. Well, I didn't feel anything last night. I was laying down on the couch watching the Lakers play. I love the Lakers without LeBron. Please don't come back, LeBron. Don't ruin this. Never been a Lakers fan. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. But anyways, watching them, hoping my parlay hit, and got up off the couch and bam! Oh my gosh, pinched nerves, pulled muscle, whatever you call it. I immediately started working on it, got some CBD cream, like my trap muscle was burning a fatty, but just rubbed it all over there. I happen to, since I'm a reseller, bought an awesome neck massager. It has two handles. You put it down, it's got the two nodules, whatever they're called, you know, circular motion, and got that working. Nothing helped. Went to bed miserable, tossed and turned all night. I needed to get up early today and finish the deck. We've been hit here in Middle Tennessee with rain, and it's allowed me to hunt, but it's not helped my my outdoor carpentry experience this week. Trying to finish up this deck. I got a handrail to finish, and so I was getting up this morning to go finish it. It's the first dry day, and I just couldn't do it. It's starting to feel better now. I've got motion now. I got that CBD cream back on it and been working it out, but man, it's so tense. It's the worst feeling. So tree standitis is a real thing. So when you're almost 50 years old, if you get off the couch too fast, you can and will pinch a nerve, pull a muscle, or crap your pants. One of the three is going to happen. It's a fact. It's science. Believe the science. But anyways, for you anti-hunters, I'm sorry. Look it, I'm wearing a puppy shirt. Uh-oh, Prime's here. Here comes my handrail, my balusters, flat metal, 32.25-inch balusters from Amazon. Look it, I've got a puppy shirt on. I love animals. I also like to eat some of them. So back off. This is awesome. Amazon is coming, and this is ironic. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. We're going to have interaction here. I'm not editing it out. Pause. You guys got time. You're doing nothing. Anyhow. How are you, sir? I'm doing good. You? Yes, sir. You just leave him right here. I'm in the middle of a video, so you're on film. Yeah, these balusters, good. It's a good deal. Got them on Amazon. Actually, the homeowner showed me ones she wanted, and they're on Amazon, and I bought them. And I actually tried to look local at all the lumber yards and suppliers, and no one can come close. So good deal. Hopefully these work out. I'm gonna pause this, help him get these real quick. No idea, no pause button on this one. So anyhow, so don't be afraid to still look on Amazon. If you're not an Amazon seller or buyer, that is a lot better deal than I could get from a vendor locally. Probably at least twice as much. They're probably getting them from the same supplier and then marking them up, which they should do if you are in business. So anyway, gonna show you a couple sales of the weekend. Got my cards out. Got a collection for sale too. You can lay them right there, my friend. I appreciate you. I got a Kobe Bryant rookie card. These, it bothers me right here. These Japanese rookie cards. I have a Jordan and a Ken Griffey Jr. I think they should be worth a lot more. But, you know, they're not certified, so they don't. There's a Chipper Jones rookie. Look at this guy. Here's a side note. I found the Kobe right there. If you're not a sports person, that's all right. But the World Series has been off the charts. And this man right here, I hope you can see him. That's Clayton Kershaw. Man, he came in the other night, a legend of the game. Bases loaded. Got him out of a jam. 18-inning game. It was absolutely phenomenal. One of the funnest World Series games I've ever seen. And also Freddie Freeman hitting that walk-off turned my $10 into $2,360. The bummer of the next day was I had a little parlay, and who was it? Oh, Tyrese Maxey needed 4 rebounds. He had 3. I had him at 3.5. Towards the end of the game, he got his 4th. I hit. Well, that play was under review. It was a shot clock violation. I still won, cashed out, and then I went and looked at my bank, and they reversed it because he only had 3 rebounds. So I Googled how many stats he had, and everybody has him for 3 rebounds. So that was a bummer. I was going back to back. Again, going pro. But anyways, that aside, I sold this Kobe Bryant rookie card. These are ones that I actually had in my safe to save, get graded. This probably wouldn't grade. I'm going to say maybe an 8. It'd be my guess at the high side. But sold this raw card. I think it went for $3.99. I would have kept it for that. It was on auction. I don't do great with cards. That's why I want to sell them all, man. Respect to you card guys. I don't have the patience, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy looking through cards, treasure hunting. But me selling cards, I would be in the poorhouse. I'm just too neurotic, to be honest. But anyways, $3.99, that's going out. Took forever to pay. I tried to cancel, but it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, that they've extended that period of cancellation for non-payment. I was really surprised. Normally it was like 3 or 4 days. This was like a week or something. Speaking of a week, I got a couple of negative reviews on my eBay store. I had a card I sold, and truth be told, all I had was a card for a few days. That was when I was in eBay jail, not having any sales for being late on shipments, which again, if you haven't watched the last videos, I put them on the loading dock at my post office, and they don't scan them in until they get to Nashville, and that cost me dearly. So I will not be doing that. Or I'll go inside and say, hey, I want these scanned out back right now. But anyways, I had a card I sold. I took a while to ship it, like 4 days. Shipped it, and again, that same issue. I put it with other packages on the loading dock, and so it didn't get scanned in. So it was like 7, 8 days. And I got a negative review. Took a week to get, and I'm like, dude, you got like a $30 card for $1.99. Relax, Prozac, something. Relax. But anyways, I'm at fault. I admit it. I'm the world's most okayest, and that is my immoral side that I don't really care. I probably should. Don't be like me, because, you know, you could be kicked off a platform, fell off, the pride cometh before the fall, and no longer will you be able to sit and eat snacks with the reseller elite You will be on an island by yourself, a lonely place with nowhere to look. Your hands will be tied. You will wonder to yourself, why, oh, why did I not just do as Master says and just follow along? Oh, guys, I'm kidding. Relax. You guys are all uptight today. It's Thursday. Anyways, on with the sales. I am a Bible salesman. Can you believe it? I do as well with Bibles as any other category. This is really cool, though. Purple. It has a little crease there is about the only issue with it, other than one of the back pages has a weird fold, that one right there. But other than that, in great shape. Does this have any writing? No writing inside. $17 and some change plus shipping. So check out your Bibles. I get leather bound, even older Bibles. I try to treat them well. And just for you watching, this is my own personal Bible. So, you know, look at, there is writing in that one. Can you believe it? Yeah, study your word. Don't listen to preachers. Well, listen to preachers, but make sure you're reading your Bible for yourself so you know truth from deception, because there's a many voices in the world, but only one truth. So anyways, not to preach at you, because I'm really preaching at myself. But anyways, here's a beauty. One of my favorite things to find. I'm a Christmas guy. This is a Holland mold. 1977, I believe. I have the base here. I don't need to do this stuff because one of these days I'm going to break it. There's my base. It says, somewhere it says Holland mold. No chips in that. Oh, there we go. Holland mold. No date on it. I thought this one did. I've had several. Anyways, I sold this one time for like, I don't remember, $150-ish. And look at, no chips, in unbelievable shape. Hard to find them in great shape. And it was sent back because I took a picture of this, trusted AI, and in the title and description, it said 21.5 inches. Well, I'm a carpenter. I have a pretty good eye. I kind of just glanced at it. I mean, it wasn't enough to throw it off. If this was like 12 inches, it definitely would have. This is only 17.5. So I got a return request, and I thought it was kind of a scam at first, but they returned it. They wanted the 21.5. This was 17.5. I don't blame them. They were honest. I refunded them, but I put it back up for sale, and I had a sales event going on, and I've been sending out offers like crazy to try to make up for the jail time I spent in eBay. And I just sold it for roughly $100, so plus shipping. So this is going out. I get more questions on these than anything. Every one I've had. Does it have chips? Well, I always want to say no, but let's see if you can see that. See the very tip? Almost 100% of the ones I've found have a little tiny chip there where you put the star in. I try to say that. I hate to say yes, because that's really no big deal. You could actually repair that little thing, but it does have a chip. So I need to just take a picture of that and send it, say this is the only chip on it. But I notice if you say yes, it has a chip, but it's towards the top, it's minuscule, they still don't want it. So I think a picture might help that. But man, a lot of interest in these. If you find any of these Holland molds, there's another company, I'm not smart enough to remember it too, that are vintage, and pick up anything that looks like this. Even modern will sell. So cost of goods, don't chip the top. I'm gonna put this back up here. But anyhow, I had something else. Oh, here's another beauty, folks. I've had this for probably close to a year. I got it after last Halloween. This is a vintage, what brand is this? General Foam Plastics, Norfolk, Virginia. I've had this for sale for like $16. I've had a lot of interest in it. My pictures weren't that great. Tried to fix them by removing the background, making it white, and it removes some of the picture. Anyways, may have not had the best title, but I got an offer from a woman. She wanted me to make it $16 total, with including taxes and shipping, which I just want this out of my way. I don't like items like this that are lightweight, but they take up space and they're not big profit. And I hate Halloween anyways. Yeah, I am one of those weirdos. So I finally, it was kind of annoying, and I hope she doesn't watch this. Probably not a viewer. But it was kind of annoying because really I had to make it $8 for it in order to ship it with taxes and fees and all that to get it $16. And she's like, sorry, I'm a senior. I only have $16 to spend. And I've been getting that sort of message a lot lately. So I don't know if that's a new scam or just that's the kind of customers I've been drawing. Either way, it's fine with me. I'm glad to let it go. But like, you're asking for 50% off. I'm sorry you only have $16. So I sold it for $8. Not that big a deal. I'm sure I paid 50 cents or a dollar, or may have got it for free in a box of other stuff, but it's going out. So I hope she enjoys it. It is a cool Halloween candy bucket. So enjoy, ma'am. I appreciate you. She was a sweetheart. It just kept sending me messages. So, you know, I'm easily irritated because I'm a horrible person. Anyhow, that's going out today. Shipping those. I also sold, I was going to go look for all the stuff, but if I showed you this mess, I'm not even moving the camera. Since I've been doing other stuff, I've not been organizing every Monday. Every Monday or Sunday, I was organizing the Rad Cave, and I've got so much stuff that it's kind of laying everywhere. And then I'm finding my hunting stuff amongst this stuff. So I'm throwing stuff everywhere. So I need to get reorganized. So this book, I sold a Ford Mercury, a vintage mechanics book. They take a while to sell, but they'll always sell. Probably got them free or in a lot off an auction, and sold that for I think $11. Also sold, I wasn't gonna, a security system, Coneco. It's not Conoco, something like that. You know, a 2K or 4K, whatever they call it. I think it's right around here, but I don't see it. It's in front of me somewhere on the shelf. But anyways, it's a home security system, and that sold for $37 and some change. Also sold, this is not the right one. I sold a elf with a helicopter hat ornament for $14 and some change. I think that's basically it for the sales in the last day or so. Yesterday didn't have much. So that was basically it for the last probably 24 hours or a little more, actually. So I have been delisting, relisting. I haven't listed anything. I've got a freaking Tippmann paintball gun over here, the rifle with the trigger. It's got the trigger work done. It's like, you know, a couple $100 for that. That thing's worth $200 at least, and I haven't listed it. I've got several things here. I still got a ton of clothing. My buddy Jeff, that I always mention, who buys out storage buildings, has called me 5 or 6 days ago, sent me some pictures. Come look at this stuff. I got some stuff for you. Tried to meet up 2 days ago. Tried to meet up yesterday. I went hunting instead. He was out of town. So today, after this video, after I get through shipping, I'm probably going to head over there and see what he has. I always score with Jeff. Always, always, always. Not every single item, but I never walk away spending less than $150, and I'll have a truck full of stuff, and at least a handful of things are bangers. Bangers, I said. I love this new cinematic. Feels so alive. Now I'm back with all my stuff. Now I'm separated, and all you can concentrate on me and this pimple I got from my glasses. Apparently I'm 13. But anyway, other than that, this hybrid model of career I've mentioned a lot about the reselling thing. I was really going to focus on just that and content creation and stuff. And again, not getting into this, but just things happen, put a bad taste in my mouth. But again, I'm not going anywhere. I'm continuing to do this. I am doing the same amount of sales I was before without the live selling. I haven't done much whatnot. I am selling statically again. Oh, I don't even mention the whatnot stuff. The only problem is, before I get into that, cross listing. You can have Venmo. I'm canceling my subscription today. Hate it. I got duplicates. They don't delist. I don't even see the... Okay, great. You can cross list really quick. But if you got to go back and manually undo everything, why would I spend $100 a month when I can just... I'm done with Macari. I've canceled Macari. You can have Macari. Poshmark, I might as well. Like, I don't sell on there. And look, they're probably great. I know I hear people all the time who make a living off just that, and I just can't. I don't like it. I don't like the site. You talk about clunky, too much information, too many things you can press. Like, simplify it, guys. You don't have to do it for me, but that's my advice. Holy moly, it's just hard to navigate. I just don't like it. So anyways, it's eBay and whatnot. And so I'm just going to manually list, and I don't want everything listed on whatnot. I don't have to, although I'm selling everything from cards to clothing to, man, I've sold dehumidifiers and dog grooming kits, like the blow dryer, you know, like the, what was the old haircutting thing? The Suckco or suck cut, it cuts and it sucks, whatever that was. Man, Furby. I think, was it Furby? Floby? Let me know in the comments. I don't do that enough. Let me know some stuff in the comments, folks. Let's pump this channel up. I know I was accused of doing content to get famous and to take shortcuts. They're right. I always take shortcuts if I can. I was never the guy walking home from school who was afraid of the shortcut because the bullies were there or the mean people. I would run through them. So yes, I'm taking the shortcuts. I don't have to be you. I don't have to take your route. I am my own person. But I do not need anybody. I'm smart enough to be friendly to anyone and everyone. That is the secret. And if that doesn't work, or that makes me a horrible person, well, color me bad. Remember Color Me Bad? I miss big hoop earrings. I'm kidding. I wasn't into that. Although I did have an earring for about 3 days when I was turned 18, thought I was tough. My dad said, I can't even look at you with that in your face. That was at my sister's birthday party at E.G. Nick's, eating all-you-can-eat crab legs in Brighton, Michigan back in the day when it was a thing. And I removed that earring and didn't have one since. So if you have earrings, have at it. I'll have a single tattoo. Here's some nonsensical information that's useless and will just waste your time. I don't have any tattoos. It's wild because I have designs. I'm a little bit artsy. I've got a little bit of an artist in me, so I don't want tribal something. I don't want anything anyone else has. I am very adamant about that, but I have designs in my head. The one thing I would do is the old Powell Peralta rat bones. You know, the rat with the crossbones with the rat in the middle. I love that. That's one of my favorite logos. I would get that. And I was going to get a hammer, Carpenter Life, you know, the big framing hammer, but the guy that drew it, it was okay. It was not what I had in mind. Another guy I went to was going to get it that day. He drew it and had like a banner and like a ribbon. And I'm like, oh, you don't get it. So I've just never pulled the trigger. So I'm the kind of guy, I go with one and I'll be sleeved up and tatted up all over. That's my style. So I know I'm going off on tangents. You're trying to catch my brain on drugs, but I'm completely sober. Oh, hey, let's get vulnerable here. Why not? We're doing this. It's cold outside. My fingers are cold. The coffee's obviously working. I quit drinking October 15th of this year. I don't know how long it'll last. I don't know if it's for good or not. I don't think I had a real problem. I don't go out to bars. I don't run around on my wife or nothing like that. I'm not abusive. I'm a happy drinker. Come from a long line of alcoholics. My dad didn't drink he quit when I was like 2 all the way. Saw him drink like 1 or 2 beers with my uncle, but not a drinker. But my grandpa owned a bar in Houghton Lake, Michigan. He died at 88. Still drinking a 12-pack of Old Milwaukee and a bottle of Kessler every day. I am Scottish and Cherokee, so I can hold my liquor. You wouldn't know. I could drink a 5th of Jack Daniels, and you may get super wild, Scott, or you might be like, oh, man, he's barely slurring his speech. I'm not bragging about this. I'm just coming clean. Step 3 in the process, coming clean. I don't know. I'm not doing a 12-step program. I cut cold turkey. But I was able to drink a lot and drink every day. Habit drinking. Right now, I'm drinking, and you'll laugh at this. Go ahead and make fun of me in the comments. I've been buying Busch NA, non-alcoholic, and I still drink 6 of them. When I drink, I guzzle. If I take a Coke, I drink half of it in one sip and then finish it with 2 more sips. I guzzle, and I'm habitual. I'm a addict by nature on anything. Coffee, reselling, basketball, whatever it is, I get all in it, but then I have a short attention span as well, obviously. So I like to switch up. But anyways, my drinking been daily, and it was kind of funny. I always said if my kids ever said something, I would quit drinking. And me and my wife have never had issues with it. She's mentioned, like, how much are you going to drink? And she bragged on me, it's not a brag, that I've never seen anyone who could drink as much as Scott. He don't get wasted. Like, I mean, obviously I've been drunk, but I can sit there and I can consume, like, in it, in an hour later, I'm sober. I know, not medically sober, but you know what I'm saying. But anyways, it got to probably more of a problem spending money. If you drink every day, you spend a lot. I was doing the math. Well, my kids brought something up. There was an incident. And so I had my own intervention. I scheduled my own, because I've never been the kind of person to have secrets or hide stuff. I'm going to go ahead and say this right here on this camera. This may get me banned or something. Like, even pain pills. I've never been addicted to that sort of thing. Like, if we were golfing and someone had a Percocet or something and they gave it to me, I would take it. I like that feeling. I'm an addict by nature. I'm an adrenaline junkie. Obviously, I like hyped up pre-workout energy drinks and stuff. But I would always tell somebody, like, mention it to my wife. So, because I know if you keep something secret, you'll be like, oh, no one knows. And it continues to build and build. I know that. I've been around addicts. I've had friends die, friends of mine in rehab, friends that are still dealing with addiction. But I always had that on the back of my head. Like, I don't want to be a full-blown addict on drugs. Well, I guess, I'm almost 50 years old, got a half a year left or so. And, but I've drank since I was in 6th grade. I mean, grew up in a neighborhood, had bad influences. So I started drinking, and, I get to where, like, I almost don't want to say this because I don't want anyone to worry about a fall off or relapse. But I mean, easily sit down and drink 12 beers while I'm working around the house. Easy. Now I might spill one or something, but not drunk. Not at all. I mean, I could probably really drink 24 beers in 8 hours. I mean, I've done it many times. Obviously puts on weight, costs money. So even though I'm not driving around or out on the town, it must have become a problem, because I had my own intervention, sat my kids down and said, look, I want you guys to say whatever you think, whatever. And my kids mentioned a couple things, and they just see the volume. They're just like, maybe you shouldn't drink so much. But there wasn't any issues of me being cruel or abusive, or if anything, I'm more fun, which is the excuse I guess us addicts use. But I said, okay, I won't drink, because someone had mentioned maybe you need help with it or something. I was like, that's when I scheduled my own intervention. Like, if you tell me you think I might need help, I'm like, okay, I don't want to be blind, just like I don't have any secrets. So I scheduled my own intervention. That's the radical thing to do. And I said, okay. It was hard to hear. And again, there was nothing like, how you watch these intervention shows, like, we love you, and you've got this problem, and sometimes when you drink, you're this or that. It wasn't anything like that, but I could see a concern. And I think of it more from a Christian perspective, is it's not a good influence, not good decision making. I probably do the worst parts of my personality come out as far as snapping if I'm mad, for sure. That's exacerbated. I know that, aware of that. So there's nothing that was surprising to me. So I said, I'll quit. And they're kind of like, you're going to quit drinking. Like, you drink 15 drinks every single day. And even health-wise, I get checked up every 3 months and never had any, like, health issues or whatever. But I started thinking, like, this can't be good at some point. I've been drinking my whole life, nearly every day. And then I got to thinking, and this is the honesty part of it, it was kind of hard. I'm like, I can't remember the last week I went without drinking. It was at least 25 years ago or 23 years ago that I went a week without a drink. So I'm like, it sounds like a problem to me, even though I don't have any of the outward signs or whatever. It's just not a healthy lifestyle. So I started watching some videos. You know, I was concerned. I don't know how I got off this, but this is a good topic for, it may help somebody or just entertain you. But I was always worried about, like, what if I stop? Like, you can die from that. You got to be very careful if you are. And I learned something. This is one of the most important things. And I will go ahead and say this. I attribute it to my faith, my belief in God, that maybe he protected me from this, but I think my time was running out. That to be an alcoholic the definition isn't the volume you drink. It is literally the physical dependency. Now, I had a mental dependency where it was my comfort, my friend. It was the only thing that was always been around. I know that sounds strange, but after watching these videos, it was kind of clarification. I'm like, yeah, it's like a whoopee. You know, it's always there. It can always numb you to any problem. You know, you still have to wake up and face it, but you can numb emotions and stuff. So I'm sure I was doing that. And, but not physically dependent, not chemically dependent, where I had the shakes, feel like I had to have a drink or I wasn't right. Now, I did feel like I needed a drink to go places, like not going to be fun unless I can have a few drinks. And again, I saw Charlie Sheen mention it. If I could drink for 1 hour, the first hour is the greatest thing. I said it. I said the greatest. Like about the third beer, that first hour, you get the warm fuzzies, just feel good. And then it becomes either, which I almost never got to this point, but I certainly have in my life, where I'm hammered, making bad decisions and bad choices. But for me, it got to the point where I'm not going out where I can make bad choices, but I just get tired and probably depressed. I mean, didn't really feel that way, but looking back, I'm still waiting for clarity that there's certainly got to be some sort of like dependence or reason you're doing it. I struggle with that because I'm like, I don't really have a reason. I like it. I like to drink. I love sitting here with a 6-pack of Busch non-alcohol. I'm enjoying myself. I love watching sports. I love watching the World Series with a beer. I like, maybe it's just I've built this comfort system with myself that's where I was at. So saying that, I was like, I told my kids I went cold turkey, and I'm watching videos at night waiting for these awful things to happen. And I did get really, really irritable. What the guy said was verbatim what happens. Especially when you don't have a physical, chemical dependence on it. I didn't have the shakes or anything like that. I had insomnia. Just felt just off, a little icky. But didn't have any nightmares or tremors or anything like that. But it was October 15th. So what's today? The 29th? So what's that? 14 days in, they say after day 10, you start getting some clarity. I don't know about that. I do feel like I have a little more energy. I am bored. I will say that. It's very, very difficult for me at night because typically I have a companion with me. So even though you're not doing anything, it feels like you're doing something. You know, you're going to get a beer. And like I said, I can sit down, I put one in the freezer, drink one. And the one goes, it's gone. I mean, like I said, I guzzle. I'm not trying to get drunk or buzzed. I just drink like that. And then the next one's ready and that one's colder. And next thing you know, 12, 15 deep. And you just pissing money away, quite literally. So I am super happy. I didn't plan this out, but I always said if my kids ever said anything to me about drinking, I would just quit. And I did that, didn't get any help. I don't know if that's a good suggestion for people or not. I don't know where you're at, or even if you're watching this, you may have shut it off by now. But for me, I will talk about this and we'll see. I don't know that I'll never drink again. I don't really feel that way, but I definitely needed to, and I've been felt for a while that I needed to really just scale back, and because it's just too much. It's just too much consumption. Even if it wasn't like damaging me, even in my relationships or noticeably physically, I could see myself aging. And I do notice a little bit clearer skin, a little bit better color in my face. I think I was a little yellow. So I'm sure living habitually dehydrated is not good for you. So sorry to get off on this tangent, but I thought I'd share that with you, because at some point I'm gonna have to tell somebody, because I haven't been in a place yet where someone's like offered me a drink. That's the weird part. It's been 14 days. I've not been anywhere where someone's like, here, have a drink, or do you want to do shots? And that rarely ever happens, but a couple times a year for sure somebody would say that, and I was always game and responsible. I mean, for the most part, I'm not foolish. You know, if I drank too much, I gave the keys to someone else, for sure. But again, it's my journey. Everyone, I had a real good friend of mine, one of my best friends, quit 20 years ago. And he said that, he's like, man, you won't do it unless you ever just want to do it for yourself. And he said, I'm not going to judge you or anyone else. He's just explaining his experience. Wasn't talking to me in particular, you know, he wasn't trying to convince me of anything, but he was just saying that I don't think anyone can quit unless you want to, or you have a reason to, and you just got to do it. He said, but it's the best thing I've ever done. So after watching all these videos, every person I've ever watched says it's the greatest thing they ever did. Even Allen Iverson recently quit, became sober. I just never thought of it that way. I'm like, it just everything revolves around drinking. I'm going golfing, I'm definitely drinking. Going to a ball game, like a sporting event, like, you know, pros or whatever, I'm drinking. Going out to eat, I'm getting a beer. Everywhere. I don't remember the last time prior to October 15th that I didn't order a drink at dinner. And you got to understand, I grew up where it was very, very taboo. And I can go on a tangent on this. I'll save this for another video. But, you know, because, for instance, my wife had a different experience, you know, around alcohol. And I know people who've had that. I had a friend that lived with us because his dad would punch him. I mean, I'd go over to his house. There was holes in the paneling where his dad had tried to hit him and missed, and punch holes in the wall. Like there's definitely evils to go along with it. They don't call it spirits for no reason. But my family, the ones that I know, my uncles, my dad, my grandfather, were happy drinkers. So I don't have that experience. My grandmother, my other grandfathers, my step uncles, and all of them, I never saw an angry drunk growing up. So I don't have that experience. But I have friends, I could even name their names. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be around them when they drink. One, it gets crazy. Why are you kissing me? You're going to get me in a fight. People that aren't fighters trying to get me involved in some fight. I don't do that. I don't go for confrontations at bars. I'm friendly. I'm the last person to fight. But when that switch is pulled, there's another video for that. But that almost got me like really hyped up there. But anyways, but I'm not that guy. I don't bump into people. I'm not a bully or tough guy. So I don't like that. So I know people have different experiences, but for me, it just came to a point where drinking way too much for money-wise, for my budget, and just overall health. It's just not good for you to consume that much alcohol, even though not getting drunk. Like, that's wild. So any of you Scottish Cherokee people out there with a super high tolerance, let me know in the comments. If you've had an experience like that, let me know what you think. Or if you're bored stiff and you don't want to hear about this, I'm sorry, I'm still going to talk about it. This is my channel, Gus. If you don't like it, you can get I'm just kidding. But anyways, stay positive, stay picking, stay rad until the next time we have Counseling 101 on the new cinematic video. Love you, mean it.